Mark Skaar on the Skaar Kaard on 103.7 The Fox, and I'm proud to welcome in from Autograph, Mr. Simon Daniels. Simon, welcome. How are you doing?
I'm doing great. Thank you so much, Mark. How are you?
I'm doing fabulous. Thank you so much for being on with us. It's always exciting when a band releases a new record. I still call them records. And Beyond by Autograph is coming out, and congratulations.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
How does it feel? I'm sure it never gets old.
No, never, because it's a labor of love. For us, it's the reason why we want to wake up in the morning, and I was going to say sleep early, but that never happens. So it's just basically going really well. It's like having a newness in your life. We're very happy with the outcome of the record.
Very good, and we've heard a taste of it. This Ain't the Place I Want to Be. Tell me about that song.
The song is basically about looking for signs and guidance when a person is when they are running out of options or ideas. So it's it can be interpreted many different ways. And then we ended up dedicating the song to Randy Rand due to what happened to him, and we were able to tie it in because it can be interpreted in a different way. So we made a video. I don't know if you saw the video, but we made a video, and it's tied in with him. And so it can be interpreted in many ways, but it's basically when the chorus goes, where is my starlight? I think I've gone blind. And that kind of stuff, So I like writing lyrics. They're not exactly, they're not just have one meaning and then let the person interpret it the way they want to interpret it.
Talking with Simon Daniels from Autograph about the new record, Beyond, and you alluded to Randy Rand, the original bass player for the band, and unfortunately passed away at the end of April, and it sounds like it was pretty shocking what happened, and my condolences.
Thank you very much. Indeed he's in the record. We did all this together. We worked on the pre-production, but he played incredibly well. He's got a great bass tone in there, and his performance is great. We did all this. It was a band effort, and all the way from the music to the artwork and to the name Beyond, it was all picked by all of us. And it was very, very shocking and surprising when it happened. And it took a little while to digest and to, figure out what we should do. We knew right away that we should release the record because it's, it's a continuation of him anyway. So we decided to dedicate it to him. But the name Beyond, it might sound like something that we came up with after he passed, but no, he was part of it. He actually that was his favorite title. We were going over titles. And after he passed, the name just took a different connotation as well. But it's exactly what we wanted to do. We wanted to express that it's a continuation, an expansion and an extension of what it was in the past, bridging it to the present and bridging it into the future.
Talking with Simon Daniels from Autograph, and maybe we should talk about the other guys. This all kind of came back together, my understanding, 10, 11 years ago with 3 of the 4 original guys, and then you got involved, about 9 years ago?
2013, Kenny Richards, your original drummer, called me saying that they were wanting to do a kind of an updated version of the band. He went to the original singer, and he didn't want to do it. He had his reasons, and so he basically gave him his blessing and said, "Just you guys go on," And then I was immediately approached. They apparently watched my videos some solo videos on YouTube. But we all came from the same circle of friends in the LA scene from the '80s, and so they already knew about me. Then I met them, and then we played together, and it's like within 10 minutes, this really clicked right away, and there was not even a conversation. So we had Steve Lynch and Randy Rand, who became my best friend for the last 9 years, and so there were the three. Steve Isham, which was the keyboard player, he passed away years ago, and so there was the 3 originals. We started out like that, and then Kenny Richards unfortunately passed away 2 years later, and then Steve Lynch left the band in 2018 to do some other project because at that moment he was saying he was not so into rock music anymore. He wanted to do instrumental, more mature kind of thing. But anyway, so then we got Jimmy Bell, which is from the House of Lords, and then we carried on, and then we didn't expect that this was going to happen with Randy, but it did. So there we are.
We're talking with Simon Daniels, and of course, we'd be remiss if we didn't mention Mark Weiland.
Yeah, Mark was brought in when Steve. By the way, he was somebody that I knew. He's an engineer, and we recorded the record in his house here in L.A. He's an engineer with credits and great drummer. When we started playing, Steve and Randy didn't want to play with Kenny because he was not really able to play, had problems, health problems and substance problems, and so they asked me if I knew anybody, and I have worked with Mark in the past, so I suggested him, and they liked him right away. So he's a very strong drummer, very heavy drummer, and he's got a great knowledge in production and engineering, so it was just a perfect fit.
And Simon, my understanding is that you have Steve Unger from Metal Church with you now.
Yes, but the way it happened was like everything else that happened in this band. When Steve Lynch left, we didn't go look for somebody. I just got a phone call from Jimmy Bell saying, "Hey guys, I already know 3 or 4 songs. I already learned 3 or 4 songs." And I would say, "Oh really? Okay. Well, we're gonna fly you to L.A." We flew him from Connecticut to L.A. and it was incredible. It wasn't so we didn't really look for anybody. It just kind of fell in our lap. Same thing with Steve Unger. We didn't look for anybody, and then. We got a call from somebody suggesting him, and then somehow Jimmy got in touch with him, and then he flew from Seattle, and it was the same thing. But it was a very good situation because he's a huge Randy Rand fan. He saw Autograph back in 1985 at the Madison Square Garden when he was a teenager, so he understood everything right from the start. And naturally, he already played, he had the bass down like a rocker, and he wrote the notes. So his playing was, he knew how Randy played, and he was able to absorb that and to, because we have a full-on record recorded with Randy. So he just, and they also he sings the high vocals, the high harmonies, and that's what Randy was doing. So once again, came here, it was a done deal. We didn't look for anybody, thank God, because it's horrific to be looking for musicians.
I think last time out, Simon, didn't you do something with David Ellefson?
Yeah, that's the album that he had the label EMP Records, and that was 2017. So we put out a record called Get Off Your Ass, and there were 3 videos, and there were three of the singles were in the top 20 for a good time on that great media-based hard rock radio thing. It was a good opportunity. They made finals. We toured. We got good airplay, and but this album now I think it's a notch up in terms of everything.
Well, yeah. Plus, you're working with Frontiers, which everybody knows. So, great label.
Yeah, absolutely.
And it's incredible, Simon, that this music just endures. You're just making memories. I could still remember when Turn Up the Radio first came out in 1984, and it's still enduring today. And that's a nice legacy to have.
Yes, and I was a big fan of that of the band myself, and then that's how I got to like probably most people get to know the band, the musical style. We always keep the essence of what it was, which is the big choruses, the big harmonies, riffs, and melodically. What we did is we just got a little more angsty in the music behind the singing. It's a little more guitar oriented and a little more modern in terms of the tones, but that is just because we want to bring all the people that were there, and they're coming with us, and it happens all the time. We want to gain new fans, and a lot of people, because you've got to realize this is 35 years ago, a lot of people that are in this new generation, or even the kids of the parents or whatever that were there listening to Turn Up the Radio, they never were exposed to that kind of stuff. So you'd be surprised to see how much they like it.
Simon, if people want to find Autograph online, how's the best way for them to do that?
They go to autographband.net. That is a one-stop link to Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. Order the album on the homepage. There's our tour schedule, and all information that's there. So just basically autographband.net. And, you can go anywhere from there.
The new album is called Beyond. Autograph is the band. Simon, thank you. All the best going forward. We appreciate your time.
Thank you so much, Mark, and always feel free to reach out if you want to.
Very well. We'll stay in touch. It's Simon Daniels from Autograph on the Skaar Kaard on 103.7 The Fox.